Hey everyone, welcome to part one of our three-part series where we dive into everything you need to know about the BL3000 air purifier and ozone generator. We're going to be unboxing this unit, checking out its features, and looking inside the box so you guys exactly know what to expect when you get yours. Fun fact, the BL3000 was one of our best sellers during COVID. We had a school district out in Florida reach out to us, and they ordered several 40-foot containers from us. They placed one in every single one of their classrooms and some of their offices. This unit is very tried and true, and it was very beneficial during the COVID-19 era. But without further ado, let's unbox it. Just go ahead and get a knife or a sharp object and just be careful that you don't hurt yourself when you're cutting the tape on the box. If you guys have checked out some of our other videos, as soon as I pull the unit out, it's going to look very identical to one of our other air purifiers and ozone generators. I will kind of compare the two, but they are very similar. There's only one main difference, and I'll go over that. So you got a thank you for your order, quick start guide. You guys have probably seen a couple names for this unit out there, such as the CH3000, BL3000, or BH3000. If you guys hear any three of those names, they all mean the same, but the SKU for this is going to be the BL3000. So quick start guide, packing list. You're going to have the actual instruction manual, and then you're going to have a remote. Moving on, we have a 3-foot power cord, a 2-pack of ceramic ozone plates, and then we have the actual unit. So here it is. It's in a beautiful black case. Like I mentioned earlier, this is going to look very identical to another unit we sell, and that unit is the F101 acrylic or the CA3500. Filtration wise, they are exactly the same. You have a ionizer, you have a HEPA filter, charcoal filter, TO2 photocatalytic filter, UV light, and ozone plates. The only difference is going to be the casing. This one is clear acrylic and this one is black. F101 acrylic is going to have knobs to operate the fan speed and O3 or ozone, whereas the BL3000 you have buttons, tiny LCD screen, and then you have a physical remote. So kind of went over the features already. 6 stages of filtration. It's got a remote LCD screen. It's got buttons. You have fan speed, purify, ozone, UV. You have a timer. You have a power button. Just like the F101 acrylic, on the back, you have the plug for the power cord. You have a fuse block, and that includes an extra fuse, and then you have the on and off switch. And then to quickly refresh your brain on what's included, inside the box you have the unit, ozone plates, power cord, instruction manual, remote, and some paperwork. Welcome back to part 2 of this series. Now that we have the BL3000 unboxed, let's go over how to properly use this powerful device. If you guys are not quite sure what ozone is a chemical. It's 3 molecules of oxygen, and people use ozone generators to remove mold, odors, bacteria, and viruses. It pretty much just purifies the air from those things. It is a very powerful device, but it's also harmful to your health. Ozone is a respiratory irritant, and if you're exposed to large amounts for long periods of time, it's actually very deadly. So I've created a 5-step guide to help you guys so you're using ozone generators properly and safely. Starting off with step 1, we're going to be talking about preparation. You guys need to make sure you select the right size ozone generator for your use. Like I said before, the BL3000 and its counterpart, the F101 acrylic, they are both an air purifier and an ozone generator, whereas the F105A and SS12000 are strictly ozone generators. So keep that in mind when you're out there shopping for an ozone generator. You guys need to think, do I also want it to be an air purifier so I can use it 24/7, or do I want a strictly ozone generator that has much more ozone output? Now that you have the right ozone generator selected, the second thing you're going to want to do is you're going to want to unoccupy the room that you guys are going to treat. So if there's animals, people, or plants in there, whether it's a house or an office or warehouse, make sure everything is completely unoccupied. Like I said, ozone is a harmful chemical. Some other things you want to take into consideration are certain items, anything rubber, fabrics, or electronics. Some of those things can actually deteriorate over time if they're exposed to large amounts of ozone. But if you guys are doing like a 30-minute to a 2-hour treatment, they should be okay. But it's also just recommended to either cover them or remove them completely. And then kind of the last thing to talk about regarding step 1, which is preparation, is you're going to need to seal the room. It also depends on the area you are treating. So if you're treating a house, pretty much make sure all the windows and doors are shut, and then again, get every living thing out of it. If it is a room, same concept applies. Shut all the windows, shut the door. Most houses have a door gap at the bottom of the door. You guys can actually roll up a towel, shove it in there to close that gap off. Just make sure the room is completely sealed so the ozone can treat it properly. Alright, step 2 is set up your ozone generator for field use. If you guys haven't done it already, go ahead and install the ozone plates. If you guys are not sure how to install the ozone plates, we have a video out there, or I can quickly show you. Pretty much all you need to do is remove the back cover, remove the filters, get your ozone plates, and slide them in to their designated spot. If you guys are just looking at a video or for a video for the BL3000 and you just want to use it strictly as an air purifier because you're not sure that you want to use ozone, something we always tell our customers is if you do not want to use the ozone feature, don't even install the ozone plates. But for those people that do want to use it for the ozone feature, go ahead and install the ozone plates, and that's how you do it. Then put the metal filter back in, charcoal, HEPA, then the back plate. Alright, so now that we have ozone plates installed, we need to set the timer. So what you need to do is you're going to turn the unit on, and then on the right side of the unit you have away. So when you push the away button once, you're going to have 30 minutes. If you push it again, you're going to have an hour. And then if you press it 3 times, it's going to set a timer for 3 hours. So that is how you're going to select a time. If you guys do not want a timer, just turn the unit on and make sure the ozone feature is selected as well. I will go over how to actually use the ozone feature. But once you have a timer set, the last thing you're going to want to do is select the ozone output. Okay, we're going to be mostly looking at a couple buttons, and we're going to be looking at the LCD screen when it comes to selecting the ozone output. Hopefully you guys can hear me because once I turn it on, the fan kick on. But let me go over this real quick. When you turn it on, it's going to be set at 1400 square feet. Here is going to be the fan speed. When you guys increase the fan speed, it's also going to increase the square footage. So if you have the fan speed all the way maxed out, it was at 2000 square feet, but if we click on the ozone button, it's going to go up another bar and it's going to increase the square footage. You can also increase the ozone output along with the square footage if you increase the purify setting, which is going to be above the ozone button. So with the fan speed max and the ozone max, if we max out the purify setting, it's going to increase the ozone output to high, and it's going to raise the square footage to 3000. So depending on the use you need for your ozone generator, go ahead and select the time, whether that's 30 minutes to 2 hours, and then go ahead and select your type of ozone output. Third step is going to be activate your ozone generator. As you saw in step 2, as we turn the unit on, so you're going to want to quickly adjust your fan speed and ozone output along with the purify setting depending on the square footage and the amount of ozone output you want. Once you have that all selected, go ahead, put it into a central location of the room, leave, and let it do its thing. Step 4 is going to be post-treatment. If you set a timer on the BL3000, wait for it to go off. When you know it has gone off, you're going to want to wait at least 30 minutes to 2 hours before you enter the room. Ozone will actually dissipate back into air, so we recommend waiting 30 minutes to 2 hours for that procedure to happen. If you did not set a timer, what you're going to want to do is either put on a mask or hold your breath, quickly run in there, turn it off, whether that's the switch on the back or you pulling the power cord out, and then get out of there and again wait between 30 minutes to 2 hours for ozone to dissipate into the air. After you have waited the wait time, you are okay to enter that room. Once you enter, open up the windows and let the whole room or area ventilate, removing any excess ozone. This brings us to step 5, which is going to be the last step, and that is going to be repeat the process if necessary. If you enter the room and you still notice mold or an odor, the BL3000 is very capable of killing bacteria and viruses. However, those are very hard to see. You re-enter the room and you still notice something and you're not happy with the results, run the process again until you are satisfied. When you're done using the ozone generator, you can go ahead and turn the BL3000 into an air purifier, and you can just let it run continuously. Or if you're done with it in general, go ahead and put it in a secure place, whether that's a closet, a garage. Just keep it in a cool, dry area and out of the reach of children. Alright, here we are in the final part of the series. I'm going to show you guys how to clean and maintain your BL3000 so it's performing at its best. I'm going to show you guys how to remove and clean the filters along with the ceramic plates, and give you guys some tips to extend its lifespan. Alright, safety first. Whenever you guys are cleaning or maintaining a air purifier or ozone generator, you want to make sure it is turned off and unplugged from any power. So on the back we have the power switch. Let's go ahead and turn that off, and let's just remove the power cord as well. I'm going to break this down into 3 different parts. Since the BL3000 is also an air purifier, you also have to take into consideration all of its filtration. So we're going to break it out into exterior, filters, and interior. Starting off with the exterior, if your unit is just dusty, we recommend getting a microfiber cloth, dip it in some water, and go ahead and just wipe the casing down. If you're going to be using this also for an air purifier, you're going to run into this issue quite often, especially if you have pets. On the back of the unit, where the HEPA filter is located and the back cover plate, it's going to be covered in pet hair along with some dirt and dust. So what we recommend is getting a duster tool hooked up to a vacuum and go ahead and vacuum off any dust or hair buildup. Do that on both the back and the front. Alright, step 2 is going to be cleaning of the filters and ceramic plates. So we're looking at the back of the unit. We need to remove this back plate. 2 tabs up here, push down, and you can pull it off. Again, we have a HEPA filter, followed by a charcoal or carbon filter, and then a TO2 photocatalytic filter. And then while you're in here, might as well remove the ozone plates. Quickly go over the UV light real quick. You only really need to replace this when it's burnt out, and you'll know when it's burnt out because you won't see the light through the front of the casing. So as of right now, we're going to disregard the UV light. If you guys do need help on replacing it, we also have a video showing you guys how to do that. Alright, so cleaning of the filters. This is also going to take a big role in maintaining your BL3000. This process will also work for the CA3500 and vice versa depending on the model you have. Charcoal, TO2, and HEPA, these are all washable. If you see a bunch of buildup, especially on the HEPA and charcoal filter, go ahead and vacuum that buildup off first before you wash them. To wash them, it's pretty easy. You have 2 different options depending on how filthy the filters are. If they are absolutely destroyed, go ahead and just replace them. But what you want to do is you can either just run these filters under some warm water in your sink, or you can get a big bowl and get a soapy water combination going and let these soak in it for at least 15 minutes. Once they are done soaking, go ahead and rinse them off with warm water to remove any excess soap. And again, always make sure you let these dry completely before you reinstall them into your unit. That is the filters. Moving on to the ozone plates, they're going to be very similar or exact same regarding cleaning of the filters. Again, there's a lot of buildup on them. Go ahead and vacuum them off. While you have them out, inspect them for any damage. Damages you want to look out for is any burnt marks around the edges, especially where they make contact inside the unit. Also, if you see any cracks, it's better to just replace them at that point. These are pretty cheap, so it's better just to replace them. But to wash them, you can rinse them under warm water, or you can put them in a bowl of soapy water, let them sit for at least 15 minutes, remove them, rinse them off, let them dry completely. Moving on to the last step when it comes to cleaning and maintaining your BL3000 is going to be the interior, and just by looking at it, you don't really have much room to get your hand in there. We recommend doing this process at least once a year. If you are going to just be using this unit for ozone only, you can probably stretch it out longer than that, but if you're using it also for the air purifier mode, we definitely recommend taking it apart and cleaning the inside. To do that, I will quickly go over how to. I won't show it, but there are a bunch of screws all over the unit. On the front, you're not gonna have any screws, but you can pop this front cover off. Just get your fingers under it, pop it off. Once you have the front cover popped off, you're gonna have access to the fan, and you can get like a crevice tool in here or an air compressor or can of air, blow everything out. And then also just double check this. This is going to be the ionizer. Sometimes dust will build up in there. Just kind of wipe it off or vacuum it. But to fully disassemble this unit, you got screws on the back, you have screws on the bottom. So that's going to get you started on pulling this back bracing out. Once you have the back bracing out, you can then go ahead and start disassembling the ozone mechanism. You got 4 screws, and then you also have some screws up back there holding the fan together, and then you do have some more screws on top holding this front plate on. It all depends on how in depth you want to go into disassembling this. If you can just get this back plate off and remove this ozone mechanism, it'll give you enough room in there to vacuum up any dirt, dust, hair, and also give you a great opportunity to kind of just fully wipe everything down with a microfiber cloth. Here is a regular maintenance schedule for the BL3000, and this is going to vary from weekly to once a year. Starting off weekly, that's when you're going to want to clean the exterior of the unit along with vacuuming both the intakes on the front and the back. Moving on to monthly, depending on how often you use this for an air purifier or ozone generator, it may vary. You're going to want to check and clean the 3 physical filters along with the ionizer at the front, underneath the front cover. And you're also going to want to check and clean the ozone plates. Again, this will vary depending on how often you use the ozone feature and the air purifier feature. Every 3 to 6 months, again, you can stretch this out if you take care of the filters monthly, is you're going to want to replace them. But again, if you do keep up on cleaning the filters, you can stretch it anywhere from 6 to 10 months. But if the filters are completely filthy and washing them or cleaning them, go ahead and buy replacements. And that's also going to carry over to the ceramic plates. You can probably get much more use out of these because you're not going to be using this as often. Again, when you check them, it'll give you a great opportunity to see if you need to replace them. Then lastly, this is going to be once a year. Again, you can stretch this out depending on how often you use it, but you're going to want to give it a more thorough cleaning, and that's when you're going to want to take the unit apart and clean the internal components. And if you follow this regular maintenance schedule, you can definitely prolong the lifespan of your unit, especially if you keep up on cleaning or replacing both the filters and ceramic ozone plates.